Hello everybody, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and in today's video we're going to be playing some Battle Spirits Saga, courtesy of Bandai. They sent me this wonderful looking box. I'm going to open it up, and then myself and Crim, the AsianAvenger, is going to join me for some games. Battle Spirits Saga is a relaunch of a card game that has previously existed in Japan and been quite popular. It is one of Bandai's big successes and long-running card games. With the Japanese version of the game having 14 years and over 60 different sets, there's a big focus on competitive play with huge tournaments happening in March and official cash prize tournaments of over $1 million across all three. There's one in London, there's one in Vegas in March. The kickoff is still available. There'll be a link down in the description below to sign up for that if you're able to get there. And there's another one elsewhere as well. And as you can see, the game is filled with high quality artwork and some of the tropes you'd expect from anime and manga. Battle robots, dragons, magical creatures, and cute little penguins. We'll explain the gameplay as we go. The system involves using cores to power up spirits to attack your opponent, as well as having on-field static nexus effects and magic spells to change the tides of combat. We'll talk about it as we go through and utilize all the cool stuff that Bandai sent us. This video is sponsored and all that, so hashtag sponsored. And if you're excited for Battle Spirits Saga, let me know in the comment section down below. And like I said, I'll put links in the description below as well to sign up for the tournaments and information on the tournaments that are coming up. With that out of the way, let's join myself and Crim in the past, present, or future. I'm not sure which order everything's getting recorded in, to play some Battle Spirits Saga. Okay, Crim, let's decide who's going first. Which hand is holding a core? Is it ring finger hand or non-ring finger hand?
Non-ring finger hand.
Did you see it fall out?
No, I just saw your hand slowly.
Okay, let's try again. Ring finger hand or non-ring finger hand?
Non-ring finger hand.
Correct. Would you like to play or would you like to draw?
I'll go on the play.
So for people at home to know what's going on here, I'm playing a little bit upside down because it's easier for my desk setup, but we're playing all my cards in the right order. We played some practice games. We've played like an hour and a half, 2 hours of this now. We've had fun, and we know that my deck is way better on the draw, right?
I mean, yeah, your deck is actually like kind of absurd, right? Like it's like a control deck.
That is what it seems like. Yeah, I definitely want to have more resources, go to the long game and win. Meanwhile, you're way more aggressive.
My deck is all about aggression, so I'm totally here for this. Like just being aggro and punching and then just hoping to get there before you can set up.
So, I guess we will begin. I'm going to keep the hand that I have currently.
So,
and if you don't mulligan,
yeah,
you draw an extra card, right? So I'm going to draw my 5th card.
And
how are you looking?
I'm going to keep my opening hand. I like my opening hand, so I'll draw my 5th card as well.
So you are on the draw, you said, correct?
On the draw. Yeah, wait, yes. I chose correctly. I want to draw the first card and get the first core.
Okay, so I am on the play, and I'm going to play a Hollow Beast Glass Bear. So I'm going to get some focus on that. This is a 3 cost, so I'm going to pay 3 to do so. And it is a 3,000 battle point. That has 2 levels, and at both levels it has the ability that when it blocks, I can put a core onto it from the void if there's already a soul core on it. So it's going to enter the battlefield. So, to explain that, we're using cores. These are like energy or resources in the game, and I'm spending 3 to play it. And for it to live, it must have, well, life force in it, essentially. I'm putting in this orange one. It doesn't have to be the orange one, because you only have one orange one. But I'm using it because this card in particular has a benefit when it has the orange one on it.
Right. Some cards actually care which core is on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, and they have better abilities like this one does.
Yes.
So that's my end of my turn. So the first turn is quite easy. You don't refresh, you don't get more energy, you don't draw a card.
Right.
And then I'm going to pass to Crim.
So since I'm on the draw, I'm going to actually get a core from the void. So a core from the void is going to go ahead and come into my reserve. I don't have anything to refresh. So I mean, the refresh step is after I draw. But I have nothing to refresh as I didn't do anything yet, so it's fine. Let's go ahead now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cores to play with. And I can use cores between things to like cast spells as long as the stuff has a core on it. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to probably just go ahead and play a Dragron Trooper.
The classic, right?
Yeah, the classic. This deck is like low with Dragron Troopers. It's pretty much a vanilla creature, except for it has enters. I'm going to spend 2 of my cores, move that to the trash, give it 1 core. But on its first level, it's only 1,000 BP. When it hits its second level, it gets 3,000 BP. But when it attacks, it gets plus 2,000 BP. So then I'm also going to cast Rain Needle, which is just a 1 cost creature spirit, and it costs 1 less. As you can see, the cost reduction on the top left here. I'm going to go ahead and it costs nothing, and I'm just going to put a core onto it. And
so
then
people at home know the cost reduction counts the crystals in the bottom corner of cards. So, for example, both of Crim's and mine have 1 crystal, which reduces anything that has a cost reduction on it by that number. In the case of Rain Needle, it's by 1. In the case of Dragon Trooper, you can get it down by 2.
So now that I've got 2 creatures on the board, right? I'm going to go ahead. I've got 2 spirits. I'm going to go ahead and now add a 3rd spirit. This time, it's also going to have 1 BP. The only thing here is it actually is kind of a thing where I have to think about if I'm attacking or not. Because if I attack you, you get a bunch of resources, right?
And to confirm, the thing you just played, it costs normally 2, but has a cost restriction of 2, so it costs 0. So you've like this is I won't mention other decks from other games because hashtag sponsors and all that. But like vomiting out your hand and getting aggressive is pretty crazy. I'm actually terrified at how aggressive this start is.
Yeah, like the concern though, there is a resource advantage though to having like this like a slower start, right? If I swing out right now, what is the BP of your spirit?
So I've got a 3,000 spirit that when it blocks, it gets a core from the void and puts it onto itself. So it actually ramps me. I gain more resources if I block with this. And then if you hit me, your life points also go into the resource pool. So the more damaged you are, the more resources you have.
I think I'm going to just let you take the turn now. I'm actually not going to attack at all. Because I would lose a spirit and then on top of that give you resources. I don't like that.
So I go back. So everything in the trash that was spent on stuff goes back into the reserve. I gain 1 more core from the void. I then go to my draw step and I draw a card for the turn. I then refresh my spirits, which I don't have any spirits to refresh. And now I'm staring down 3 creatures, but as we've learned from our practice games, Crim does not like how defensive and how tall and fat my deck gets.
Yeah,
so,
you just have some really big creatures.
So I'm gonna play another bear, which is reduced by 1, so it only costs 2.
Sure.
I get to put 1 on it. Now, importantly, when this one blocks, it doesn't ramp me because it's not carrying the soul core. That's how that works. And then I guess I just spend my last energy here. Or core, sorry, should I say, to level up this bear, but it needs 3 cores to be leveled up. So it currently only goes up to, it's not level 2 yet, so it doesn't get bigger, but I'm just putting resources into it while I can. And then we're going to go to another interesting bit where I'm going to set a burst card. So I'm going to set...
So you have a hidden card that I don't know about.
Yes, so this card here is going into my burst zone, and there is a trigger on it that Crim does not know about. And when he hits it, well, he's seen one of the burst cards in my deck, hasn't he? But when he hits it, I get to play this spell for free, this magic for free. They're called magic in Battle Spirits Saga. And then often they have an effect that you can pay for on top of that. But we'll come to that more in a minute. And then lo and behold, I'm not attacking. So I'm just going to pass back to Crim.
I'm going to get a core from the void in my core step, right? And then it's going to bring all the stuff that I used last turn that went into the trash. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw. And then I have a refresh step, but again, I didn't attack last turn. So I don't like that you have things to do.
You don't like my Hollow Beast Glass bears?
No, surprisingly not.
They're like little Swarovski bears, which is a product outside of this. I don't know if they're going to let me say that, but it's not another card game. Swarovski bears over here.
How big is the first bear, the big one with the red core?
So they're both 3,000s. I haven't got either of them to level 2. It takes 3 cores to get to level 2.
Okay.
And to explain that to people, you can put you can move the cores around in your main phase as much as you want. So I could have put all cores onto this, got it bigger, but I wanted a second body instead. And I just put this over here because it's that you never lose cores. They end up coming back to you every turn anyway, even if it's died.
I guess what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put a core from onto each Dragron Trooper from my reserve. So now they're both 3,000 and go to combat now.
Okay, I'm just going to look at my burst card. Cool, carry on. I just want to remind myself of what it does.
I'm going to go ahead and move to attack step. I'm going to swing at least with Dragron Trooper first, which when this attacks, it's going to get 2,000 BP. So it is currently 5,000 BP.
5,000 BP, in which case I do probably want to block this.
Now remember, when you block, whenever an opponent is going to lose life here, they only lose 1. It doesn't matter how much damage I'm dealing. They're just losing 1 of their life cores.
Yeah, which is an important point, to be honest, because you can take a big hit from a big boy, but I guess a big boy means that you have to have a much better resource to block with. So I'm going to block the 5,000 now, exerting this Howler Bear, which will get this. So it will trigger its defense ability on blocks, which will get this core from the void onto it, putting it to level 2, which makes it 4,000. It's not big enough to block and kill your thing, but I'm more just trying to get the resources out of this.
Okay.
And then we're going to resolve damage, right?
Yep.
So people at home know there's a flash step before and after blocks to use magic that has a flash ability on, or abilities that have a flash ability on it. So my bear goes to the trash, and these 3 go to the reserve.
Yep.
When a creature is bounced or destroyed, you put the energy back into the reserve.
It only goes into the trash whenever you are casting stuff.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go ahead and go attack again with my other Dragron Trooper, which is now...
Another combat.
Yep. Another combat.
Any
so
flash
5,000.
effects?
Nope.
I'm going to take it.
All right. Cool.
So I get hit. This core from my load goes into my reserve, so I get more resources next turn. Does it trigger a burst, Crim?
Does it?
It does
I
not.
hope not.
It does not.
Okay, good. Because I don't want it
And we
to.
resolve that. Combat's done.
All right. Yeah, that's it. And then
And do you want to send in the needle?
So let me see here. Do I want to give you 2 resources? No, I don't. All right, I'll pass.
So this won't grow. Just to be transparent, this doesn't have a soul core on it. It only has a normal core. I don't have the red
3,000, right?
But it is 3,000 though.
Yeah. No, I think I'll just go ahead and pass on that one. Thank you for the offer.
Cool. So my cores go back into my reserve. I get 1 from the void, growing my resources available to me. I draw for the turn, and then refresh creatures. I'm going to cast, or summon, should I say,
Okay.
a Grey Garmer. I'm reading it upside down, and the word is unconventional to the English tongue. Grey Garmer. So it costs 4, but it's reduced by 1. It can be reduced by up to 2, but I only have 1 thing. So I'm going to take 3 of my cores and put them in the trash, and then put a core onto it to keep it alive, essentially. I'm then going to move some cores around. So I'm going to put my soul core onto this bear, and I'm going to put 2 more cores onto the Grey Garm. So I'm going to explain it to people at home. Crim, you know this one? It's my little frozen robot dog. It has, at level 1 and 2 and 3, it has armor red and white, which means your red and white nexus effects, spirits, and magic. Just checking that. Yes, the specified colours cannot destroy this. Cannot be selected to be the effect of. It literally has like a spell shield, essentially. And then at level 2, it gains, when it blocks, it gets plus 3,000 BP.
Okay, great.
So at the moment, it's a 3,000, but it comes to 6,000 on blocks.
Okay.
And that is going to have to be my turn.
All right, then. So I'm going to now take my turn. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get a core from the void. Refresh whatever from the trash. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw, actually. And then I'm going to go ahead and undo all my things. Unexhaust.
Refresh your spirits.
Refresh these things, totally.
Like a refreshing beverage.
That thing is going to be at 6,000?
Correct.
That is a beefy one. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and play my Dragron Captain.
Another one. Okay.
This one is different from the Dragron Troopers. This one is just going to be... it costs 3 with a reduction of 2. So I'll do that. So it enters with one core on it. So then with 1 core on it, it's currently at 3,000 BP. But I am going to go ahead and move the core from Rain Needle, I believe, onto this, which would then kill off
Trashing him. Yeah, okay.
That would then put him at 4,000. I believe I can move the cores on from one thing to another.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can. In the main phase. In combat, you can only do it if it's got the Awoken ability, I think, the Flash ability.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to move 1 from the core, then 1 from one of my Dragron Troopers, and then it's now at level 4, so Dragron Captain is a 7,000 BP.
And does it have any other effects? Is it just...
Nope. Everything else is flavor text, so I'm just going to go ahead and just move on over to attack step. I'm just going to swing with Dragron Captain.
I'm going to declare any flash.
Nope. No flash effects or anything.
I'm going to go ahead and exert and block with my Crystalline Ice Bear, which will trigger some block effect. Put a energy from the void onto it, a core onto it, make it 4,000, but it's not good enough to kill it, so it just dies.
And then I'm passing to you.
I'm going to reset my trash into my reserve, and then draw step.
Yep.
And refresh. Okay, where are we at? Oh, finally, my first free spell. I'm going to play a Mecha Wing Duck. It costs 1, but it's reduced by 1. So it's free, and I'll put a core on it.
Okay.
It is a 1,000 that says, during your opponent's attack step, if one of their spirits is returned to their hand, I'm going to place a core from the void onto it.
Okay.
So it's a payoff for bouncing things. I really wish I had some bounce effects.
I really hope you don't have any.
I'm going to trash this by resetting it with a new burst card. So I get to discard this. It was Holy Elixir. It's a ramp spell, essentially. You get more cores if you play Enter the Battlefield effects when summon effects.
Okay.
I don't have any, so that's that. I should have kept it in hand for the flash effect, to be honest. Is it worth doing this? Let me just check my burst effect again. You don't know that.
I don't
know that.
But I think you should pass anyways.
Okay. In which case, I am going to go ahead and pass the turn.
All right. So I'm going to get a core from the void. Then
Yes.
I'm going to refresh anything that would happen from the trash, but I don't have any. I'm going to draw, which will then
sorry,
now
I lied. I will obviously power this up to make it a 5,000. There's no reason not to, because you can still spend from it at instant speed, essentially a flash speed. So he is now a 5,000. Carry on.
And then he'll be 8,000 when he blocks.
8,000 when he blocks, yes.
Interesting.
Untargetable by your silly combat magic.
You know what? I am targeting your face, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. So,
Glad to hear it.
I'm just going to go ahead and play another Dragron Captain. It'll cost 1, right?
Yep.
But then I'm going to take a core from my Dragron Trooper.
Okay.
And then I'm going to also play a free Dragron Trooper, move a core from Dragron Captain. And then, let's see, what do I have access to here?
Do any of them have any actual abilities? Do any of them have Awaken?
Nope. Nothing here has any wild abilities other than just when they attack, they get 2,000 power. So with that in mind, I'm just going to pass.
So no combat?
Nope.
No combat?
No combat.
Well,
I think, are you asking, that Discord we went to was very helpful in us figuring this stuff out.
We should mention this now. Yeah, we had 2 really fringe things that weren't like covered in the main rule guide, because the main rule guide is quite succinct and to the point, shall we say.
Yeah.
So there were like really fringe things about like what happens if we bounce something during the flash step and stuff. And we found the Discord off the main Reddit for this game, for Battle Spirits Saga, and someone on Discord immediately sent me in the right direction. We found some responses on the forum there. It was great. It's fantastic. So we're going to go to my turn.
Yep, that's it.
I'm going to generate 1 core into my reserve.
Yep.
I'm going to draw, and then I refresh my board.
Okay.
Ooh, I've not seen this card yet. Didn't come up in any of our practice games.
That's not good. That means it has text, and that means you're going to do something. It has a lot of text on it. That means you're doing something. I don't want you to do things. I just want to like go around your stuff.
So how big are your things right now?
The biggest threat I have is a spirit that is currently at 4,000 BP.
I'm going to cast this incredible card.
Oh, no.
So the Divine Moonsky Beast Fanatec Elk is a 4,000 that are all 3 levels of its life. When the spirit blocks, during this turn, this spirit cannot be destroyed by your opponent's destruction effects or as a result of battle, and it cannot have cores removed from it by opponent's effects. And as it levels up, it goes to 6,000, then 10,000, and level 2 and 3 actually pings the opponent for 1 life loss at the end of their turn if I didn't lose any life.
Terrifying.
So this is going to enter. It costs me 7 minus 2 is 5, so I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm down leveling my dog.
Okay.
Still at level 2 though, so still 6,000 on the block. So I spent 5 and put 1 core onto it. Yeah, there's my big technical elk.
Okay.
My tech elk.
So you've drawn the face of what I assume is your deck. Okay.
Yes. Must be nice.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll play it next turn anyway. And then I will pass the turn.
So then I'm going to get a core from the void, and I'm going to get the one from the trash, and then I'm going to draw a card. Then I have a refresh step. But I think I want to go and, first off, I'm going to cast this spirit. I'm going to summon this spirit right here. I'm going to summon Blazing Boar. So Blazing Boar, Cost 4, but a reduction of 1. And I'm going to go ahead and use 2 of my cores in the reserve, and then 1 from Dragron Captain. And then that'll then give me another body.
What's interesting here is that you are spreading all your cores across lots of creatures, right? To go as wide as possible, because the core system does mean that you need to have things to keep them alive.
Correct.
Yeah,
and or else I would love to have stronger things, right? I get a creature, I get a spirit back from the trash, and then I'll go ahead and
is that a when summoned effect?
Yes.
Oh, let me check my burst zone.
Oh no, do you actually have it?
Did I cycle one into the other? No, I didn't. I wish that was still there, though.
That would have been a power play if you had that.
That would have been so good, wouldn't it? I would have been able to burst 2 more into my void, from void into reserve, but I can't. Burst effects, like we said, are just things that react to a certain trigger.
With that, I'm just going to go ahead and go to combat. I'm going to go to attack step. I'm going to not attack with anything. Then it is going to be all you again. I'm passing back to you.
Decided to have a bigger blocker on this side. I could have got it up to there, but I decided not to for that reason. So I put my reserve energy back, and I gain 1 more core to go with it. And I draw for turn and refresh my board. Okay. That's a big boy. There's a lot of big boys in here. We're going to go ahead.
I don't want you to have any more big boys.
So I can then level this to level 3 with those 2. Spend those 3 for that, and leave 1 on there. Okay. I'm going to level this. 1, 2. So it's up to 3 now. So it is on the mode where it pings you every turn.
Okay.
I'm then going to cast Ice Blade of Brigid, which is a 5 reduced by maximum 2, so it's 3. So I'm going to spend 3 here. And to keep it alive, I move the red core onto it.
Okay.
And then I will finally power up the elk again.
Okay.
I'll explain the Ice Witch to you, the Ice Blade of Brigid.
Okay.
So it says, it's a 3,000, and if it has the soul core on it, at level 1 or 2, when it's destroyed, I get to bounce an opponent's creature to the hand, opponent's spirit to the hand.
Okay.
And once it's level 2, it has whenever it blocks, it stops one of your creatures from refreshing next turn. So it locks them down with ice.
Wait, so the first thing has an unconditional, it bounces anything?
As long as this is on it, and it gets destroyed. Yes.
Okay.
So, interestingly, you can destroy your own spirits by taking cores off of them. But, interestingly, I need this on it for it to happen. So, it really only happens when you kill it with a magic or if you kill it in combat, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, if you kill this, I get to bounce a thing.
That's unfortunate. All right.
Okay. I have established a board state, shall we say.
I can't break through.
I'm going to pass back to you, Crim. Over to you, my friend.
Come on. Just hit me. All right.
Nope.
I'm going to get my core. I'm going to go ahead and get the core from the trash. I'm going to draw for turn. So I've currently got 4 in reserve. I got 4 in reserve right now. And I've got 6 creatures on the board, 6 spirits. You have 4 life, and I have 5. Oh, boy, but I have to attack you. So I am...
You don't have to attack me.
I mean, every turn that I'm just letting you have, that's just another thing on the board, right? So that's kind of a nuisance, but I'm just going to go ahead and play this Rain Needle with one right here with 1 core. It's back. It costs nothing since I've got a silly amount of spirits on the board right now. And so you've got 4 things that can sit back. You have a silly amount of cores. And then, you know what? I think we gotta try to draw some blood here. We gotta try to draw some blood here.
Tell me all your sizes before you do anything declares. I just want to know how big everything is.
So nothing is bigger. So I have the biggest that like summon or spirit I have is currently 3,000 power.
So that's is that the 2 captains, yeah?
Yeah, the 2 captains, the Dragron captains are 3,000.
Okay.
And then
the soldiers,
troopers,
they grow.
Yes. They'll be 3,000 as well when they attack.
Okay. How big is the boar and how big is the needle?
The boar is 2,000 and the needle, the Rain Needle is 1,000.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just move on over to attack step. First thing I'm going to attack with is my Rain Needle.
In which case, I will declare... I have nothing that bounces anything, do I? So it's a 1,000 coming in, yeah?
Yeah.
I will not be blocking the Rain Needle.
Okay. So you lose a life core.
Goes into my trash.
Then I'm going to hit you with a Dragron Trooper.
Which is a 3,000.
Right.
So it's 3,000. I will block with the Brigid for 3,000.
The block will happen, and then these will both die.
So they both get destroyed, and then I will trigger my Brigid. The energy goes into the reserve.
Okay.
And that means I get to bounce a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll bounce one of your 3,000s. I guess I'll bounce... which ones are more expensive to recast? What are the captains, right?
Yeah, the captains are...
They only reduce to 1, where the soldiers reduce to 0. So yeah, we'll bounce a captain.
Okay.
And that will trigger my duck.
Okay.
Put energy from the void onto the duck.
And then...
The duck is now at level 2. It's a 2,000 point duck.
I believe that there is another flash window now, right?
So now you declare an attack and it makes another flash window. That's it.
Right. So I'm going to send another Dragron Trooper in.
And that creates a flash window. Would you like to do anything?
Yes, I would. I'm going to go
Is this
play...
that flash dragon?
I am going to play Moonbow Dragon, which for those that don't know, this thing is amazing. It's going to be able to just go ahead and enter. It has Awaken, which is you may remove any number of cores from your other spirits and place them onto this spirit. When destroyed effects are not triggered by this effect. So it costs 1.
So you have to pay for it, so it's 1.
Yes. It costs 1. And then now it enters with a core. I can now just go ahead and move stuff over, but I'll go ahead and awaken from the Rain Needle.
Yep.
And I'll also...
So we're currently in combat with something coming at me, right? What's coming at me?
The one of the Dragron Troopers.
So Awaken is a mechanic that's unique to like the Dragon deck and the Dragon archetype, and it seems to allow people to move things at instant speed off, or flash speed, should I say, off of creatures. It doesn't allow you to do it from the reserve. You can do it from the reserve in the main phase, but during combat it's quite powerful to be able to move things around. Well, so have you finished flashing?
Yes.
So it's now blocks against this 3,000. So
yep.
you've got 3,000,
so Moonbow Dragon is just 3,000 BP as well. Currently,
so you're going to have 3 more 3,000s and a 2,000 coming in. Is that correct? So I will block that 3,000 you're attacking me with this 3,000.
Okay.
Which then triggers and becomes a 6,000.
So then I lose this Dragron Trooper. Oh wait, so that is currently 6,000, right? The doggo.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. So then I'm gonna go ahead now and send in Blazing Boar.
I will block with the duck.
Okay. And that is
with the flush
2,000 or 1,000?
It is 2,000.
Okay.
What I'm going to do with the window open, I think I'm going to do some dream bombing.
Oh no, that dream bombing? That sounds bad. Okay, what does that do?
So it's a flash. It costs 5, but it's reduced by 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 1 off the duck and 1 off of my dog.
Okay.
And it now costs 1 more. I'll take another 1 off the dog.
Okay.
And it says it's main or flash. So I'm going to flash it, select one of your opponent's spirits and return it to the hand. So I'm going to bounce one of the 3,000s to your hand. Probably the Dragron Captain again.
Okay.
And then it'll trigger my ability here, which puts another count not from the void, sorry, not from my reserve, puts another counter back on the duck, which means that the duck is now 2,000, so it will trade with the pick.
I'm gonna go ahead and before it gets dealt damage, right? I could do something.
I think so. What are you trying to do?
I'm gonna land mine. I'm gonna then select one spirit and give it 2,000 BP.
Okay, so it survives the trade, right? And my duck dies.
Right, and then I use
landmine costs you
2 cores. And so Blazing Boar will survive that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and attack again with.
Yep.
Let me see here. So now, have you lost a life core this turn? You have.
I have lost 1 life core this turn.
See here, you have 3 cores there. You have a big one. You have your giant dog. Like
my dog is actually small at the moment because he shrunk back down, so I took cores off of him to cast the spell.
It is so hard to get past your stuff.
So you have 2 more attackers, and I have an indestructible 6. Well, he's not indestructible yet. He becomes indestructible when he blocks.
And you've got 2 things on the ground, or on right now.
I've got 1 card in hand, 1 card in burst zone, 1 unexhausted big elk, and 1 exhausted dog.
I'm gonna just go ahead and call it there then, and then that's it for attacks.
No more attacks?
No, I think I want to keep everything else now. Nothing of yours bounces yet, right? So
yeah, fair enough.
I'm good.
So I'm gonna put all that energy back in my reserves, and get 1 from the void. So after all that, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 11 energy in the reserve at the moment.
Yep.
I will draw for turn, and then I will refresh my dot. Now, I'm going to pay 3 for a Brontech, because it's reduced by 2. This is just a big old, chunky, vanilla 5,000 battle point.
That's pretty good. Okay.
And I'll put a spirit on it, a soul on it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I will play this cost-reduced Nexus. So Nexus are like, so it's cost 1, because it's reduced by 2.
Okay.
And this is a effect that stays in play. It doesn't need a soul, a core to survive, although you can core it up to get to its next level. Its first level is that I get to refresh a blank creature with no abilities on its ability list in your attack step. And at level 2, which is 2 more cores, it does it to all my non-ability creatures. So in this case, it's just going to be this spirit here, the Brontech.
Okay.
And then I'll put 2 more cores on the Brontech to make it an 8,000.
Seems good.
I'll put 2 more cores on the dog to make it a 3,000. I'll put 1 more core on the dog to make it a 5,000, 8,000 when blocking.
Biggest robotic snow dog ever. Got it.
And then I'm going to move to I guess I'll put 1 core over here.
Sure thing.
I'm going to move to combat then.
Yep.
And declare an attack with my big chunky Brontech.
Okay, I'll take it.
Cool.
I lose a life.
You lose a life.
Right.
And that's it. That's the end of my turn.
That was it, huh? Okay. So I'm going to I'm going to get a core from the void. I'm going to get everything back from the trash, which will then allow me to go ahead and draw for turn, which will then allow me to now refresh. Okay. So, brand new turn, lots of things to do.
How many cards you got in hand right now?
I have 5.
How do you have 5? I guess I bounced a lot of it, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is just Dragron Captain. Thanks, Vince.
But I mean, it gets you there if I can't go wide enough, right?
We'll see. So it costs 2 less, right? So it went from 3 to 1. Then it enters with a core. Then I'm going to do the same thing again. Throw away a core. Have another Dragron Captain enter with a core. Got the ability now to do some stuff over there, and I don't like that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spend 2 of my cores, and then I'm going to go ahead and drop a Galaxy Dragon Andromatos. This is going to just make it so when I summon a Star Spirit Dragon card, count each symbol on this spirit as 2 symbols. So it makes cost reduction count as 2 as opposed to 1.
Okay.
And then
how big is it?
It is a 3,000.
Tiny.
Just a baby. So you've got 3 things that can sit back and block. I would like to go to attack step.
So at the beginning of your combat step, I am going to refresh my Brontech.
You got it. I'm going to go to attacks. First thing is going to be Dragron Trooper.
To remind me, all the Dragons are 3,000 the attack. The boar is 2,000. The new dragon is 3,000. Does it have Awaken? Can you move things to it?
Nope. Everything except for Moonbow is just pretty much a basic Dragron.
And then Moonbow is... Tell me the levels.
Currently, it is level 1. But when it gets to level 4, it can be 6,000.
6,000 at level 4 and it awakens. Okay. I'm going to block with the Brontech here.
Okay. And so
8,000.
You know what? 8,000 is good enough to get rid of this Dragron Trooper. Cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and move to the next attacker. I'm going to send my Blazing Boar right on in.
I'll block with my dog.
All right. So Massive Dog is
actually, no. That can come through. I'm not going to block that. That hits me. So that's going to take a life away.
Now I'm going to go ahead and send in
hang on, there's a flash, there's a burst effect potentially.
Okay. If you hypothetically had anything laying there.
I'm going to burst a Dream Bomb, which bounces a creature. It needs to not be your bloody Flash Dragon, so I'm going to choose to bounce your 3,000 thing, I guess.
My Dragron Captain or my Galaxy Dragon?
Galaxy Dragon.
Okay.
It costs more for you to replay. I'm going to take a soul off the Spring of Neon. I need to pay 5 reduced by 2, so 3. I'll take 2 off of my Brontech to do that.
Now I get to continue with my attacking.
Yes.
So you have no cards in hand?
I have no cards in hand.
You have no cards in hand.
Do you have another Moon Dragon in hand?
Your little combat trick has saved you today.
Good.
But you know what? I'll go ahead and end my turn there.
Let's put my reserves back into there. Generate another one from the unknown. Draw for turn. Refresh. And then we're going to make another dog. For 2. Plus a core to keep it alive. Then we'll do some coring up. So we're going to core here. here. Here.
Comfy. Great.
Yes, yes. Combat, attack you.
Yep. That's going to get another life core out of me.
How many are you on?
I am now on 3.
And I will pass back to you.
Really? You don't want to close out? I'm pretty much right here. I'm going to get a core
not how
from
that
the
works.
void. I'm right
Because
here.
this only untaps these.
It's okay. It's okay. Just believe. I'm going to draw. Now I get to refresh. So I'm going to play Galaxy Andromedos Dragon again. It'll cost me a total of 2 cores, right? And then I'll have it enter with 1. And then I will play another Galaxy Dragon.
That's it. That's game. Because this untaps.
Yep.
I can only block 4 things. You hit with 2.
Yep. And then I'm going to send everybody in right meow.
Yeah. So I'll kill 4 things.
Right.
And
You'll
then
kill
take
4
2 and
things,
die.
take 2. All right. Sweet.
I'm wondering what I could have done differently, thinking back on it. Like, was taking like a chip damage here and there a bad thing? Should I have just killed stuff off? I think so. I think when you hit me with the small things, I should have just like blocked them and killed them. And then forced you to commit more to the attacks.
I feel like most of the time I just didn't, like, the idea of overpowering your stuff was just out the door, right? Like, I could never overpower your thing, so I just had to go wider.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because half my cards just bounce things. My cards don't really do anything. These do. These are incredible, obviously. I meant these. So just bouncing your stuff isn't good enough because it doesn't give me a window to survive. Yeah, I think I should have just blocked absolutely everything and forced you to send more things in. Perhaps.
Yeah. That works.
Interesting.
I mean,
though. I do like that there's a lot of decisions to be made, so I can actually look back at each decision tree and like try to figure out what I could have done differently to make the game better, go my way. I think that's pretty good.
There's a lot of like little things like that here, little minor decisions within the turns, right? Like that are kind of just, as you can see, they're kind of like game changing. The 1 to 2 chip damage feels a lot more important than it would in, like, let's just say another game, right? Like the chip damage.
Yeah, so a 1,000 getting through is much more impactful in this game because it takes 15% of your life, right? Where in other games, a 1,000 BP will take usually 10%, 5%.
Right.
Like, it's huge getting through with little creatures.
Right. So like the things that I was able to do was mostly just like at that point, I think power, like going tall, didn't mean much after a certain point, right? Because you were like, I think that's the one thing that's cool about the play in this game so far is that I'm able to just like not care about how big your creatures are and just go around you, right? Because I just want to get at those life void tokens, those life void counters. That's all. I want those cores, and I don't need my creatures to be that big because creatures will do the same amount of core damage, and that's all I care about.
And I think I was in a headspace where I can take like small hits because life is a resource and all that. But in reality, the small hits are the same size as big hits.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, I should have... But the reason I was doing that is I wanted to keep my big things back to kill your larger things, right? Or your more aggressive or frustrating creatures. But in the end, you did the right thing and not send them in. You just got in for your 1 damage and you were happy with that.
Yep.
And then I couldn't beat it unless I had a wider board, which I didn't have.
And you also weren't refilling your hand. I have the illusion of refilling my hand, but that's really just because you just kept bouncing all my stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The cards in your hand, I had put them there. And I also made a lot more energy than you did. But it didn't translate to a win simply because I just could not kill enough stuff. I should have indiscriminately snap blocked everything to force you to send more things to death, and then I would have whittled you down that way. I think I was thinking my bounce spells would buy me enough time. It just didn't. Because this thing to be online, I need to have 3 blockers or 3 attackers, and that was never the case.
So, just go around the big threats. Simple as that.
I had in that game I had 28,000 power in play.
Yeah.
And it just did not matter because your stupid bore was something I didn't want to commit a blocker to because you had 4 other blockers. Or 4 other attackers, should I say. But I guess you also had an incredibly aggressive draw. I will do some final thoughts, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I hope people enjoyed the video. The game went longer. We were going to try and fit 2 or 3 games in because some of the games went real quick. But this deck that I'm playing in particular really likes to stall the game out, or at least this precon does. What are your first thoughts on the game, Crim? How are you feeling about it so far?
So I actually have kind of really enjoyed the core system. The core system's been pretty entertaining and very interesting. It's given me I've played other games, and sometimes you just get some like resource like issues and stuff like that, and that's of all types. Too little, too many, things like that, right? But being able to just always have something every turn felt pretty good. And then also have the one thing that was interesting was not just only that you were able to use those resources, move them around between the summons you've already had. So being able to recycle and reuse the cores in battle made it a very interesting way to go about it. So I really
the core
like
system
that.
is so good. Like I didn't when I initially read about it and started looking at tutorials and stuff for us to do this video, I thought it was just like I'll be frank here. I thought it was going to be a regenerating mana system similar to other games where you get one per turn, right? And basically a physical manifestation of usually digital resource systems. The difference is that it's a finite pool of resources. So, for example, in our game where you're going wide, you actually have to redistribute the mana or energy or resources, or whatever you want to call it, across different card games. You had to redistribute it around to keep going wide and spread yourself thinner and thinner, which might, in other situations, stop you being able to use your abilities or your spells, your magic and stuff. That is something that I don't often see in physical card games. I guess there's a little bit of that in a few games without going into exact details, but it's cool to see a finite resource that you have to juggle. Yeah. And the other thing is that it's actually, these probably aren't for comp play. I know there are core cards in the boosters. You can open cards that represent cores. That might be how the game goes at comp level. But playing on a more casual friendly level, I really like how tactile moving cores around actually is.
Yeah, physically seeing these coils has been, or the cores have been nice also.
Yeah, and people probably think I'm just looking for things to say that are positive, but I really mean it. From playing a lot of war games and card games, there is something inherently it's almost like a primal level. It's fun to flick cards around, move them in your hands, shuffle, remove your board state. And it's the same when you're playing with tokens, physical tokens like this, like beads and stuff. Same with dice in war games. Nothing really ever beats physically actually playing with a thing. So the tactile nature is pretty cool as well. I quite like that.
Right, that had to be one of the more entertaining parts of it too, just having the cores there, and then on top of that, what we learned through the last battle, how combat work, going tall doesn't mean much; it's all the same. So
yeah, which is also quite different. There are other card games that do that, where one hit reduces one shield or health or energy or whatever.
Right.
But a lot of games don't. Right. It's a lot of it is power or battle points or front end attack value really matters, but in this it doesn't, and that made the game very interesting, and also allows aggro decks to go around decks that are ramping or increasing their mana pool or energy pool like I was.
I think your deck is doing exactly what I would like to do though. As much as fun as it was to do all the go wide strategy, I do love my giant Nebula Dragon Andromeda. That card was really cool, although I didn't get to draw it against you. I do think that the bouncing and the tempo from the bounces are something while you set up your big chunky threats. You have giant whales, you have a giant buffalo. You've got all these things in that deck that I think are really, really interesting, and kind of the lore behind it too. I found out there was a lot of lore from the influencer kits, and apparently this had an anime and all of this. So I don't know. There's just a lot of cool things to explore when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's a shame that neither of the decks that we're actually playing with today have the cute penguins in them.
Wait, that's in the other one, right?
Yes, it's not in my deck or yours. I think it's in the I don't know what realm it is, but it's not the Frost realm. It might be. I could be wrong on that, but I'm playing one of the Frost decks, Mech Frost, and it's not got the penguins. Oh, we'll get the editor's gonna hate this. We'll put the penguins on screen from the trailer here. They're penguins with a unicorn horn, so I think they are from the unicorn realm.
Yeah, they are. The unicorn penguins are hilariously adorable. I think that deck also comes with a koala, an icy koala.
Yes.
So I don't know. The whole Frost and Ice realm stuff looks really cool to me. So I'm kind of curious to see what else comes down the pipeline for these types and these decks.
Well, there's a lot of starter decks. You can find them all online. We'll put them on screen right now. There's a lot of starter decks you can pick up. The main thing to take away from this video is that, well, firstly, we actually quite enjoy playing the game. Perhaps more so than I expected, honestly. I just enjoy playing card games in general. Love trying new card games. But this was actually had elements that set it apart from other card games, which is important, I guess, in an ever-expanding market, right? But the other important thing is there are money tournaments. They want this to be a competitive game. So there is an event in Vegas, there's an event in London, there's one more somewhere else on the planet. I can't remember where it is. We'll put that description on screen as well. There'll be a link down below. There's over $1 million this season, with $350,000 in just the Vegas event alone, I believe. Jeez. So if you are looking to get your competitive game on, this game is committed to allowing that. Because we've seen in the card game space other games veer away from competitive gaming in the physical paper space. So it's cool to see Bandai step up and put their money where their mouth is in terms of giving us an actual competitive card game.
Yeah, like it's pretty cool, right? Like there's a competitive circuit already. So, you know, like this shows that they're designing it with that in mind. And I kind of like that. It's nice to have a game to be competitive in and have a competitive outlet.
Absolutely. There's the game launches fully. So March, the tournaments are the big start, and the game launches fully in April, so there'll be products on store shelves then. Thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know in the comment section below. Let us know if we got a rule wrong. I'm sure we did something wrong. We and ahhed about rules for over an hour and a half before we started to make sure we were on it.
Everything we know is from like either maybe reading the subreddit or like a Reddit or a Discord.
That's unfair. The rules document on the website is really good.
It
really was clear. But then we got into like judge level difficult calls.
Right.
I'm like, okay,
I think our knowledge in other games has made it so that we read things at a deeper value than like what it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we were overthinking several things, but it's like it just happens. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us know if you're picking up the game or trying it out, and we'll see you in the next one. Well, I'll see you in the next one. This is on my channel, but Crim might be back if we do some more stuff with some other card games as well.
Would love to.
Cheers, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.